This is the World v World / kind of PvP update from the blog post, from the studio blog post that's just gone live over on Guild Wars 2. I've separated it out into its own individual video. I go into a bit of detail. I also read a different post which is associated with this blog post talking about algorithms, so that's why this video is separate, but it's going to sound a bit weird as we go into it, so please forgive me. So now on to World versus World. And the community have been waiting a long time, but Roy's on the job, so let's hear what they have to say. Our team is focused on refining core systems in World vs. World, whilst we continue planning for some of our larger long-term goals. One major area of focus is incentivizing winning, or in other words, creating shared goals that encourage teamwork. We've consistently heard two key pieces of feedback. Players often have different preferences for defending versus not defending, and more generally, players feel there aren't enough incentives to win matchups. By aligning team goals around winning, we hope to address both these issues. It's a big task, but it's one we're dedicated to, and we're excited to start rolling out improvements. So, for those of you who don't know, World v World resets once a week, and World v World maps, they're very large, and there's an ebb and flow as forts, keeps are taken and lost by the opposing factions. And I'm interested to see how they can hold player focus for such a period of time. I'm interested to see what winning looks like. Is it going to be defined as whoever holds the map at the very end of the rollover? Is it going to be defined as the team who's captured most keeps, killed most players in the week? I don't know how they're going to define what winning is, how participation looks for players if winning is linked to reward. I'm curious how they're going to do that, because it's not like a 5v5 match that lasts 5 or 10 minutes. This is a solid week of play. We'll have to see. On with the post. We're also making some significant scoring adjustments for the first time in a while. This is an essential step to aligning player goals and encouraging teams to prioritize winning together. We've updated points per kill values, points for capture objectives, and we'll soon launch adjusted victory points tailored to different time zone coverage. In short, we've been updating several key parts of the World vs. World game elements. We've overhauled the siege system, improving the participation system to make earning repel credits more consistent, and introduced new attribute combinations exclusive to World v World, alongside tweaks to existing ones that don't impact PvE. We've also worked to adjust certain tactics, strengthen objective lords to better serve as rally points for defenders. To make World v World more rewarding, we've added unique skins, fusions, new ways to spend World v World currencies, and better skirmish track rewards. That is good. If you don't know, on the map you have buildings which have NPCs in them. In order to capture that building, you must go in and you must kill all the NPCs and defeat the Lord. And then the building turns over, your side claims it, and a new Lord will spawn representing your team's colours. And they are often quite weak, very predictable, so if there's going to be additional mechanics for them, additional abilities for them, making them more of a rally point, maybe that there's options for mass resing, that kind of thing, that would be very interesting and make it far more dynamic, especially for the eternal battlegrounds and things like that. I think that might be very interesting. And I'm also happy that getting more rewards for World v World. A lot of players who have maxed out everything, they have legendary everything through World v World. They don't have anything to spend their skirmish tickets on. And of course, introducing new fusions, new skins will tempt more PvE focused players into the game type, for the fashion wars is very strong. So yes, I like all this. This is good, and I'm really going to put my phone on airplane mode. Okay, let's continue. Accessibility for new players is a key goal too. The Warclaw is now available immediately in World vs. World. Mastering it is faster, and new exotic gear with selectable attributes is readily obtainable. No, that's great. So if you didn't know, World v World, originally you had to do a whole reward track in order to unlock the Warclaw. Many moons ago that I did this. And then you have to make sure that you have the attributes selected in your World v World build so that you can actually use your Warclaw properly. And if they're changing that up, I think that's good for the game type. I think people get very frustrated when they arrive on the map and they just can't use the Warclaw. I've seen that many times with new players, so that's great. And I was always sad that the Warclaw wasn't used as its intended purpose. Originally they were introduced as an alternative to take down gates and things. However, that really didn't happen. The community found it more efficient to just throw many rams at the gates. So I'm happy that they're tweaking the Warclaw, and I'm looking forward to seeing what new bits and pieces they do with them. Can't come soon enough for the World v World players, trust me, can't come soon enough. Okay, on to more World v World restructuring and competitive updates. Yeah, they're serious about this game type, they really are showing it some love. The World v World restructuring team is currently focused on larger improvements to the team creation algorithm, with special consideration given to improving the issues described in this forum post. Hello World v World players, I just want to give a brief status update on World Restructuring now that we've wrapped up our second week of the team period, that time between team creations. World Restructuring had a relatively smooth launch thanks to some awesome work from our gameplay platform engineers. At reset, we ran into a couple of issues with the teams in the newly created tiers that prevent players from accessing World v World maps. Our team identified the issue and unblocked the maps relatively quickly, and we have a fix in place for the future. The good news is that most players got placed where they intended to be. For those who didn't, our support team has been actively assisting players who missed the deadline or selected the wrong guild. At the time of writing, we have resolved one team placement bug that could have negatively impacted inactive guilds and players. Okay. As a player, you have to select the World v World guild that you want to be associated with, and then you get bunched with them when you go onto the World v World maps. And I remember doing one of the betas and players were logging in, they'd assigned to our guild, they checked, they double checked, but they actually ended up on the enemy side. So the team creation algorithm is performing as expected, and most teams are showing reasonably similar performance in terms of player hours, average war scores, and victory points, but things aren't perfect. There are a couple of teams that stand out as unbalanced, and even on well-balanced matchups we have noticed some performance gaps at specific times of day. We'll be adjusting the algorithm to better address this for the next team creation at the end of July. We also have observed some issues related to time zone population balance that is specifically affecting larger guilds. Our algorithm is trying to build a representative profile of guilds for the purpose of team creation. The larger your guild becomes, the more relevant the averages are in your data, and the less specific the profile becomes. This creates a situation in which off-hour groups that are part of a larger primetime guild are having their data nullified by the larger groups. We are looking into adjusting to improve on the specific function of the algorithm. In the meantime, if you're in an off-hour guild that has joined a much larger primetime guild for World Restructuring, you might be able to improve your matchup experience in your preferred time zone by selecting a smaller guild. Okay, interesting. So it's all about training the algorithm. We're also enhancing the guild panels with a new UI element that displays which members have selected the guild as their World v World guild, making it easier for guilds to coordinate their World vs World activities and avoid missing team creation lockout deadlines. Additionally, we've updated the character selection screen, replacing world selection with a region selection UI panel. This will allow seamless transfer between North America and European data centers. With this change, intra-region transfers will no longer be necessary, which also eliminates the risk of spending gems on redundant world transfers. Regional transfers will now have a flat cost of 500 gems, simplifying the process. That's really great. A lot of people don't understand that servers, although they were important when the game released, are superfluous really now. It's all about region. On with the post. Also, for players who took part in the PvP Plush beta event, we recently sent out a survey to gather feedback on the event, and we'll be reviewing the responses and then determining our next steps for the game mode. There will be more Plush news in 2025 as we continue to work with the community to build Plush PvP mode. Yeah, so this was their grey box PvP experience where they were trying out different game formats. What they're trying to do is build a game type with the community, which is truly amazing. If you have played MMOs for a long time, that kind of granular feedback, that kind of cooperation between community and developers is incredibly rare, especially with such a high-end game. So yeah, it's amazing. I really look forward to seeing what the community and the devs will create together. Let me know below what you think about all this. It's an incredibly complicated task, but I think they're genuinely trying, and I really like the improvements that are going forward. But yeah, please do let me know in the comments below. Are you hopeful? Are you liking the changes? Have you engaged with the team? Is this the first time you're seeing this forum post? Yeah, the forums are a great place to talk to the devs. They genuinely are. And Roy, who is overseeing all the World v World changes, is a player himself. He's arranged many player tournaments. He's an amazing guy, and he really loves and cares about this game mode. So I hope that you engage with him. That's the World v World section. So please do leave comments about World v World, your hopes, your fears, your wailing laments in the middle of the night. It's been a long time coming, all these fixes, but genuinely, how do you feel about this? Let me know below, and as ever, please do show some love to my wondrous patrons who help keep the lights on here, help make videos like this possible in the first place, and many thanks to ArenaNet and their partner program, of whom I am a proud affiliate. And using any of the referral links that they have gifted to me helps out the channel directly, but costs you not a penny more. But we have come to the end of the additional World v World section of the update. I will see you next time in the loot guide for GODSPAWN. So until we meet again, please stay safe, stay awesome, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.